Oh man, that song gets so epic right there. Free to use, man. I love this free to use music. This song is called... Whoa! That's not what the song's called. My microphone just came off its hinges. Hang on. Let me fix this real quick. Quick fix. That's exactly what I wanted to happen right off the bat. How did this happen? Oh, how it happened. I had it on the wrong part of my table. Having some issues. My table's caught on the rug. 2 more seconds. Gotta tighten this shit. I wish it was just a clamp instead of me having to basically screw it to the table. The table's almost too thin also. Hopefully that's not in the way of my television. Kinda is. Just have to scoot the table down a little bit. There we go. There we go. Glad you guys didn't have to witness all of that. That was kind of embarrassing for myself. I'm embarrassed to watch myself on this monitor. Okay. Someday, I'll have a perfect stream again. I think I had one so far. Entire lifetime of this Fables Folly live show that I've been doing. 18 episodes so far. Technically more than that. But I'm going to stop saying that. I'm just going to pretend the series that I did before this version of it did not exist. Why is this disappearing? I'm disappearing slowly. Because of my lighting, I have one of my lamps unhooked. Because I have to make room for a heater because it is really cold in this room. Okay. I've got some videos lined up today. I'm gonna play a new game tonight on stream also. I have a spread shop down there in the description. If you want to buy some of my merch, I'll have some new merch set up. Probably either tonight or tomorrow night after this stream goes live. So if you're watching later, then I'll probably have it already set up if you want to check that out down there. Get the show started though. I'm gonna turn off this music. Well, the music turned off by itself already, but I'm gonna completely close out that application. There we go. He's suing Honey. And I believe he's talking about the... Is it the Legal Eagle? Everybody's been talking about Honey. Markiplier did a video on Honey. He told us that it was a scam, and we didn't listen. I did. I installed Honey, and immediately I was like, where are they getting the money for this? I do not understand how this works. And I figured that it was stealing my data and stealing my information, so I uninstalled that and completely scrubbed it from my account. So from Oompaville, Oompa TV, technically.
On December 29th, a guy by the name of Legal Eagle, a living cartoon character,
It was Legal Eagle, I was right.
renowned YouTuber and attorney, filed a class action lawsuit against PayPal and Honey. PayPal's Honey, all right? Honey, the fucking thing we've been talking about, the biggest scam
He's suing PayPal. PayPal's huge, man.
of all time, dude. Megalag's video, my video, you've seen it. This guy, Legal Eagle, is an attorney who makes YouTube videos. If you weren't aware, his name's Legal Eagle. I don't know. I don't think he does any bird stuff in his videos. Jokes aside, there's a class action lawsuit filed by Legal Eagle, a YouTuber, against Honey because of their deceptive, scam-worthy business practices. Devin Stone is the lawyer and the content creator behind the YouTube channel known as Legal Eagle. He's a well-practiced lawyer. He seems like a smart guy. I've watched a couple of his videos before. On his channel, he
doesn't just seem like a smart guy. He is a smart guy. I like Legal Eagle. He talks shit about Logan Paul a lot, and I respect the man for that.
Generally discusses current legal cases and sometimes reviews film and television shows and talking about their legal accuracy. I mean, he's just a lawyer making YouTube content. What else are you supposed to do? Slander. He should start legally slandering people. I'm sure there's a way to get around it. The primary accusation of the class action lawsuit is Honey's alleged practice of replacing creators' affiliate links with their own, which effectively diverts commissions from content creators to the browser's extension. That's
You can't do that. What the hell? Like, straight up, you click the website and it replaces the link. Like, say, I have an affiliate link and you use Honey and it would replace my affiliate link with their affiliate link. That's not cool, man. That's super not cool.
So fucking scummy, and if true, it is a massive breach of trust and an absolute disruption of the marketing ecosystem that has been established on YouTube that, you know, people have agreed to for a long time. And Honey's like, nah, let's just go ahead and siphon away that money. There's no way that PayPal didn't know. If that is all true, there's no way they didn't know. There's 0% chance they didn't fucking know. It's crazy, dude. The lawsuit also goes on to claim that Honey's
the CEO probably didn't know, the higher ups probably didn't know, but the people working on the affiliate stuff 100% knew. There's no way they didn't.
Practices represent intentional interference with contract relations and unjust enrichment. I'm gonna pretend like I know what.
I have a prediction. I think they have 6 months to a year, and somebody will get sponsored by them again that everybody likes, or a bunch of people like, and then more people are gonna get sponsored by them, and it's just gonna be BetterHelp all over again.
All that means. The plaintiffs seek to represent a class of individuals that participated in affiliate programs and experienced the link redirection to PayPal as a result of the Honey browser extension or whatever the fuck happened. The plaintiffs seek to represent the class of individuals who participated in the affiliate programs and experienced link redirection. All right, that's what old people experience when their prostate gets enlarged. What are you talking about? Frankie's like, that's misinformation. She knows immediately. One of the centerpieces of the lawsuit is the allegation that Honey has violated California's unfair competition law. This legal framework allows individuals to sue for unfair business practices, including deceptive.
That does sound pretty unfair and deceptive.
Advertising and actions that harm competition, which, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty fitting, you know, pretty fitting.
Not even really harming competition. That's harming the people that are actively working with you. Because if it's replacing anybody's links, it's replacing anybody's links, including people who work for them.
Fucking breach right there, partner. Now, the potential damages sought in the lawsuit are substantial, which I'm excited to see if this goes anywhere. I didn't do anything with Honey, or man, I'd jump right on board. I would love to be part of this. I think that's really cool. Legal Eagle is going to make them pay, pal. It's a comment. It's a comment right here. Mega Peebs 2631. You're going to PayPal Legal Eagle probably. I don't think he would say that. I don't think he would say that. I think maybe if he did.
So like, I use Oompaville's affiliate link for a product on Amazon, and I have Honey installed, and I'm at the page, right? And then it says, hey, there's a deal with Honey. I click the Honey thing, and it replaces the affiliate link. I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing.
He did say that. He would be a little cooler, to be honest, but new lawsuit. I love to see it. I love to see it. This is cool. This is cool. This is good. PayPal, by the way, has responded against the lawsuit by stating, we dispute the allegations on the lawsuit, and we will defend against them vigorously. Honey is free to use and
This, okay. Okay, this is about to be the entirety of the YouTube community against Honey. Let's see how that works. If you actually want to start some fights with some YouTubes.
provides millions of shoppers with additional savings on their purchases whenever possible. Honey helps merchants.
Honestly, that is more valuable. I think regular people using Honey is going to trump the creators that are using the affiliate links. I don't think people care that much about creators to not use an app like this, because it does save people money. But there are better services out there. I think people like these creators that are mad about Honey should be like, hey, these are all the alternatives to Honey that are way better, and they don't replace the affiliate links.
Reduce cart abandonment and comparison shopping. Just shut the fuck up, all right?
Including last click attribute.
Boom. Shut the fuck up. Get sued, bitch. I don't know. I don't actually know. I don't feel that strongly about it, but that is the most corporate jargon, nonsensical response I've ever seen in my life. They're saying that Honey adheres to standards and practices, it's not good. Regardless of whether or not they broke California law, I can definitely imagine creators aren't going to be working with them anymore. And that was a big, gigantic piece of their...
For a little while, until people are quiet about this whole thing and they start getting sponsored by them again. Such as the way of BetterHelp recently.
Of their marketing, it seemed like. I don't know why you would ever want to work with a company that's actively fucking you over if you're a content creator and you use affiliate marketing. It has had a massive effect on Honey already. Data from the Chrome Web Store has shown a decline of around 3 million users since the initial expose by Megalag was published. A bit of an erosion of consumer confidence, you could say. And should the lawsuit prove successful, I mean, that is going to be a big deal. I think that would be really cool. It'll be massive for content creators. Not that I think we need any more like privilege or anything like that. I think I'm fine. I'm totally cool with getting fucked over by Honey, to be honest. Do I think they should do it? No. Do I think they should get sued massively by a, legal eagle, by the big... Ah! Yeah, of course, dude.
Linus Tech Tips. I think I heard something about them going to be possibly suing. I hope they do. I hope they get involved. I hope more people get involved. I hope Mr. Beast gets involved. Let's get Mr. Beast involved in this. That would be huge. Let's get back on the team of Mr. Beast. Because really all that he ever did was just have too big a company for him to pay attention to, be money hungry. Most people on YouTube are money hungry. And he did a lot of shady crypto stuff, which a lot of people also did that people like, and nobody cares. So, like, nobody cares.
Holy stop that. What's wrong with them? They need to get sued. Class action lawsuit against my dogs, dude. I love them so much. They're spoiled rotten to the core. For me, the scummiest part of all this is just the marketing of Honey now with the clarity of how they actually do business. They use influencer marketing to get into people's minds, and it's an effective way to sell a product, right? You say, hey, I'll pay you money to tell people that you like this product. That's generally what happens. And the creator can do due diligence and decide whether or not their morals, values, and principles align with the, so there is some value to...
Well, I think a lot of people that I watch only do that sometimes. Most people, when they're advertising a product, they're like, here's a product, here's what it does. And I tend to question it whenever somebody's like, it's really great, I love it. And I'm like, do you? Do you love it? How much do you love it? Are you going to be using this product for the next 5-10 years? Because that's what I'm looking for, usually, in a product, unless it's some like cheap toy or something. But if it's like electronics or something that you're being sponsored by, I want that shit to last. I'm not looking for something that's going to last me 30 days, like just a few months at most.
Be brought from it. A lot of times it's good products. Honey built themselves off.
That's why I don't like... I'll get back to this video in just a second. I'll let it play even just a few more seconds longer than usual. But I fucking hate the mobile game ads, especially when people are like, I love this game, I play it a lot, I play it all the time, it's the best game ever. And they don't play it. You know they don't play it. Because why would they be playing some stupid ass mobile game when there's so many good games elsewhere? Some random, just random game. Usually a gacha game.
Off of getting creators to say things like, it's like free money, it's literally free money, but no, it's actually free for them. Free money for them, really is what it is. It's free money for them that they're stealing from content creators. It's a match made in heaven. You get to incestuously fucking...
It's not really stealing. It's more like bait and switch on who the money goes to. Yeah, pretty much.
Molest the people that are inciting growth in your business and steal money from them later on. It's a great investment. At one point, 20 million people were using honey, and they're posting videos like,
Mr. Beast breaks down how honey is free money.
honey is literally free money. It's literally like free money. Dude, shut up. There's nothing free. And we're learning that. All right, guys, there's nothing free, especially in the attention economy. Okay. There's nothing free in the attention economy. Let me tell you something, children. All right. Sit down. Listen, ready? Sit down. Whatever you're doing, stop it. All right. If you're in the living room and you're already sitting, then thank you. Good job.
Well, really, you're paying what they're actually selling it for. And if you don't use any of these codes and links and stuff that they're sponsored with, you know, that they have deals with, then you get upcharged. That's really what's going on.
Press the like button. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You just got fucking scolded. All right. You just got fucking scolded, dude. You're welcome. I've been told I'm very paternal.
Like, it's insane to me. When things go on sale, you're not buying it on sale. You're buying it for what the actual item is worth.
Right, I'm very paternal guy. And it wasn't a compliment. That's real shit. Yeah, man. By advertising themselves as free money source, they didn't just mean free money for their users. They all meant for themselves by stealing money from the creators that they were partnering with, as well as, you know, from small businesses that rely on those commissions. Not only creators rely on commissions from selling things and affiliate links. It's pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. PayPal has responded to the lawsuit, but Honey has been silent in the wake of controversy. They haven't posted on social media much to begin with, but now they really haven't posted, and all of their posts on X going back to April of last year have been community noted, which is just really, you know, very embarrassing, very sad for them, but like awesome for us. This is massively impactful for people like me, people who are involved in the creator economy. Do you like it when influencers take brand deals? Back when I first started, I know everybody who took a brand deal was like, you're a fucking stupid sell.
Now I'm leaning more toward people need to take brand deals from each other. I think that these big companies that nobody knows about that just pop up that are sponsored by stuff like PayPal, no, like they tend to be really garbage companies and really scammy. And I think that we just need to all band together and be like, hey, Oompaville is paying me to say that Sour Boys is awesome. And guess what? I ate some Sour Boys and that shit is tits.
Sell out, bitch. And then people just did it anyways because it's like, you're not really selling out. You're just making more money. You don't have to buy the product that's being, you know, it's like totally voluntary. So I never really got it in the very beginning. What do you guys think about the creator economy when people say that? When you see one of your favorite influencers shoot a brand deal and you're like, there's no way they like that. There's no way they like that. Or maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I do brand deals. Most of the ones that I do, except for that shit, what's that fucking candy company that I work with?
There's people that I watch whenever they do brand deals that I know that they actually like the product that they're talking about, that they got paid to speak about. Or the way they speak about it, you know that they're just joking around about this product and they don't actually care about it. Such as the way of PKA, when they get sponsored and they don't like a product, you're gonna know. And maybe the brand deal giver, the sponsor, whatever company, might not catch on to it like we do because we're in on the vibes.
With all time, Sour Boys, they fucking suck, dude. They suck dicks and balls. Actually, literally, I have proof of it. No, I don't actually. That's slander. What do you guys think about influencers working with brands? A lot of the channels that I love work with a ton of brands, and it doesn't bother me at all. Maybe it used to in the very beginning when it first kind of started propping up. I'm like, this is just money-hungry dumbasses. But now I know what goes into making certain people's content and certain people's YouTube videos, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. A lot of their videos probably get demonetized, or their CPMs are probably low, so they have to rely on this type of thing. When people start talking about the creator economy, it makes me cringe. It makes my butthole like tighten up and recede further into my body, and my penis like goes, they kind of meet almost in a weird way. I don't know if one day they'll like kind of inception, fit or something through my, I don't know how it works exactly, but when people start talking about the creator economy, it makes me cringe. And when people start defending creators, it makes me cringe as well. I don't know why I like seeing bad things happen to people like myself, but I also like seeing good things happen, like this awesome lawsuit that's overall good. I just like it when things happen, maybe? What's wrong with me? Someone diagnose. Someone diagnose.
I think it's autism. I think he has autism.
Tomfoolery aside, by the way, a lot of what I say is just tomfoolery. I'm very appreciative of people like Legal Eagle and people like you guys who are very supportive of content creators who you enjoy their content, you enjoy their entertainment, and you dedicate your time to them and sometimes your money. It is totally unnecessary. And the fact that anybody
Man, I wish somebody would dedicate their money to me.
cares about any of this is really, I'm just grateful that people care about content creators and by extension myself, and I'm allowed to do this. It is incredibly, this is such a fucking nonsensical issue. There's way more important things, and I don't know, yeah, it's not gonna affect me in any way. It's cool, fun news, and yeah, I hope you guys are all right. Hope you guys are all right. You guys need a class action lawsuit for yourselves occasionally, TBH. Beast Games, just kidding. Anyways, thanks for watching.
In Beast Games, man. I'm stayed away from it. I tried and I succeeded to stay away from Beast Games. Fuck Honey. Honey is disgusting. PayPal is disgusting, but I have to use it because that's how I get paid. With like half the things that I do, I get paid on PayPal. I get paid other places too, so if any hackers are out there, just know that like that's not where my main source of income gets paid. I will not tell you where I get paid for that. PayPal is just like where I take in like, hey, here's $20 for those VHS movies you sold me. Stuff like that. When I was a kid, I used to watch Goosebumps. I don't know if you watched Goosebumps or not, but it wasn't a very good show, really. But it was amazing. It was fantastic. I loved it. But I was watching the reruns on Cartoon Network. Don't know where Goosebumps originally started, what network it was on. But I watched it on Cartoon Network. I know. Wasn't really a cartoon. I don't know why it was on Cartoon Network if it wasn't a cartoon. But I loved it. I watched probably every episode that aired. And I always wondered what happened to it. Do people still remember it? I kind of do remember what happened to it. That's that Jack Black movie that I've never watched, and I don't think anybody ever watched. The lawsuits that killed Goosebumps from Channel Surfer.
You will beware. You're in for a scare. Goosebumps.
That bring back memories, man. That bring back so many memories.
For those who grew up in the 1990s, the Goosebumps franchise was unavoidable. Originally released as a horror book series for children, Goosebumps quickly grew beyond the world of literature, spawning a television series, games, toys, and loads of merchandise. By the mid-90s, the Goosebumps
I have one of the books somewhere laying around. Like, I just saw it just probably 20 minutes ago.
brand was everywhere, raking in millions of dollars for its publisher Scholastic and its author R.L. Stine. But as the franchise exploded in popularity, a legal battle would manifest between Stine and Scholastic, which would ultimately lead to the franchise.
I've heard so many terrible things with Scholastic, like so many book brands being destroyed because of Scholastic, because Scholastic, of course, it's like a government operation kind of. They're in the schools.
Franchise's downfall. R.L. Stine began his publishing career in the 1970s, serving as the editor for the teen humor magazine Bananas, which was published by Scholastic Press. In 1984, the
I didn't know that. Yeah, I even knew what that. I know what that publication is.
magazine folded, and Stine was encouraged by his editors to dabble in young adult horror, a literary genre sweeping the book world. By the mid-1980s, authors like Christopher Pike and Lois Duncan had grown to prominence, writing paperback thriller novels aimed at teenagers. Stein took a crack at it, publishing Blind Date in 1986, followed by a string of standalone teen thrillers.
Hey, I read that Twisted one. I used to read a lot of these books. I read a lot of books still, by the way. I am a book reading man. I haven't started a new book. I finished the third book in the Foundation series. There we go. For some reason I was blanking on the name. It's been a while. It's been a couple months.
As his work gained in popularity, Stein and his wife Jane set up a publishing company called Parachute Press. The company worked out a deal with Simon & Schuster to publish their new teen horror series Fear Street, with the first installment, The New Girl, being published in 1989.
Never heard of that. I need to get these books. I need to get a lot of these books, I think. I need to go on to the eBay and purchase a lot of these books, probably in bulk, and just read through them all, man. Maybe I'll make a series about it. Who knows?
The series was presented in an anthology style, with each installment following different characters within the fictional town of Shadyside. The series depicted
That's
dark
cool.
themes like murder, hauntings, and psychic phenomena. And by the early 1990s, Fear Street had soared in popularity to become one of the best-selling book series for young adults, with Stein releasing a new book every single month. Around this time, Stein was encouraged by his wife Jane to create a new horror series, this time aimed at children rather than teens. The result was Goosebumps, with Stein lifting the name from an ad he saw in TV Guide. Like Fear Street, the Goosebumps books would be anthological in nature, with each installment featuring a child protagonist facing sinister supernatural forces. Goosebumps is
Dude, I get so much nostalgia from the Goosebumps covers, because I've probably seen every single one of them. I might have had every single Goosebumps book at one time, because we bought a bunch at like yard sales and garage sales and things, and flea markets. I bet I could, if I look, I bet I could find more at those same places today.
target demographic was children ages 8 through 12, and in 1991, Parachute Press signed a deal with the Scholastic Corporation, allowing them to publish the first 6 Goosebumps books. While Parachute would own the series trademark, the Scholastic Corporation, allowing them to publish the first...
I think I read all of these, because I remember all of them.
6 Goosebumps books. While Parachute would own the series trademark, the agreement gave Scholastic control over the book's non-publication rights, which would include adaptations, merchandise, and other licensing deals. Additionally, Parachute agreed to a stipulation that said that R.L. Stein would be the sole writer of each installment in the series. The first 2 books, Welcome to Dead House and Stay Out of the Basement, were published by Scholastic in July of 1992.
Oh man, I really want to read them. Because they're just like, in the back of my mind, I remember these. I don't know what happened. I just know that I read them.
More installments quickly followed, but with limited promotion, the series was not a huge hit right off the bat. However, Goosebumps would benefit heavily from being included in Scholastic book fairs.
Oh, the
which
book
took place at
fairs.
various...
Oh, the book fairs. I mostly didn't buy actual like books to read when I was a kid. When I would, it'd be like nonfiction stuff. I used to get the Guinness Book of World Records, Ripley's Believe It or Not. I used to get from these book fairs. I have 2 game code books over there on my shelf that I got from book fairs. It has PS2 games. Really, the only thing I used them for was like the Grand Theft Auto games, because they had the actual cheat codes in there for the Grand Theft Auto games, and online it was hit or miss whether you'd actually get real cheat codes.
Elementary schools across the country. Scholastic had begun doing book fairs in 1981, in which the company would deliver books to school libraries and display them for a full week, allowing students to browse and purchase them. The event was designed to raise money for schools and promote literacy amongst grade school children, also serving as a valuable outlet for Scholastic to...
And boy, when you couldn't go buy stuff at the book fair, you felt bad. You felt like your parents failed you. You felt uncool compared to the other kids that were going in there and buying stuff. And then they would give it to you in class, and all the other kids would just have to sit there sad because they didn't get anything. It was rough. It was a rough one, man.
Promote its books directly to kids. Within a year of its publication, Goosebumps had become a big hit at book fairs, with 1.8 million copies of the series in print by 1993. And though R.L. Stine was already a recognizable name with teen readers thanks to Fear Street, Goosebumps helped him reach a younger demographic, delivering his signature spooky tales to...
I have a sudden urge to just buy all of the books that I used to love as a kid, like the Cirque du Freak series. I used to love that series, and the movie completely... I just don't even count it as being a adaptation of the books.
To an elementary school crowd. Many applauded Stine for creating content that got children reading. Others expressed concern that the horror themes present in these books were too scary for young readers. But regardless of what parents and critics thought, one thing was for certain. Children of the 90s loved to be scared, and Goosebumps was delivering the goods. Scholastic and Parachute Press quickly renewed their contract, agreeing to publish more Goosebumps books written solely by Stine. And
Is there anything right now that's good, that's scary for kids? Because, I mean, for a while it was Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that. Is there anything out right now? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm getting lost to the times. But there's not really a phenomena going on right now.
Through word of mouth.
Because if it was something as big as Five Nights at Freddy's, then I would know about it. We'd be hearing about it all over the place.
Goosebumps' popularity grew immensely, with the books in the series consistently hitting the bestseller list. In addition to the original series, the first spin-off book was released in October of 1994, a short story collection entitled Tales to Give You Goosebumps, and the series overall was now outpacing sales of Fear Street. While Goosebumps had grown steadily in its first few years of publication, 1995 was the year that the series exploded in popularity. An interactive spin-off book series entitled Give Yourself Goosebumps was introduced, and between the original book series and its spin-offs, Scholastic was reportedly shipping out 4 million copies.
I remember Night of the Living Dummy. I don't know these special edition ones though, these tales. I think maybe I read one of them.
Copies of Goosebumps books every single month, as the series now had over 70 million copies in circulation. Fall of 1995 would see the premiere of the Goosebumps television series, produced by Scholastic Productions. The pilot episode, an adaptation of the 11th Goosebumps book, The Haunted Mask, premiered in a primetime slot on the Fox network, before moving to its regular time slot on Friday afternoons during the Fox Kids block. The series received high ratings and positive viewer feedback.
Oh, of course it was on Fox. You know what? I do remember it being on Fox. But I was really, really young when I was watching stuff on Fox. This was before we had like Cartoon Network on our local cable package. We only had our only cartoon networks were Fox, and like they'd have Fox Kids in the mornings and on Saturdays and stuff. And I think we had Nickelodeon, but Nickelodeon I didn't really like because it was stuff at the time. The best thing that was on was Cat Dog. Wasn't really a fan of Cat Dog when I was a really, really young kid. When I was like 10 years old, I did become a fan of Cat Dog. But that was when there was Invader Zim and stuff like that on Nickelodeon.
Prompting the creation of yet another spin-off book series based on the TV episodes entitled Goosebumps Presents. In 1996, Scholastic began releasing episodes of the TV series on VHS. And the franchise was now expanding beyond books and TV, with various products being released bearing the Goosebumps logo. In July of 1996, Scholastic announced a $40 million deal with the Pepsi Company to promote Goosebumps through various Pepsi-owned products. Miniature Goosebumps books would be included in 30 million bags of chips, and millions of dollars worth of ads on TV would draw attention to the promotion. Goosebumps merchandise was being pumped out left and right, and brand exposure was higher than ever. The The series had begun as an organic word-of-mouth literary phenomena and had quickly turned into a mainstream multimedia brand. And Scholastic as a company had benefited immensely from the franchise, reaching $1 billion in sales and
Man, Goosebumps and Power Rangers before school every morning. Always. Loved it.
being dubbed the Disney of children's book publishing. But Parachute Press was growing increasingly frustrated by their agreement with Scholastic. In early 1996, Jane Stein, along with Parachute Press executive Joan Warrica, attended a meeting with Dick Robinson, the head of Scholastic, in which they asked the publisher to give Parachute control of Goosebumps licensing, along with a $10 million signing bonus.
Wait, I was wrong. No, hold on. It would be Power Rangers before school. I'd get home from school and then Goosebumps would come on. Because when I'd get home, oh man, I'm getting all these feelings and memories of nostalgia of like coming home and immediately watching Goosebumps. And it felt so good. Like that afternoon glow. And then Goosebumps would be on. 10 years old.
Scholastic refused. The Goosebumps brand, including all of its licensing deals, was now responsible for half of the company's profits. Relations between Parachute and Scholastic quickly deteriorated, with one former Scholastic employee telling the press, "World War III began that day, and it killed the brand." Despite their differences, the two sides signed a new deal in November of 1996, which gave Parachute control over the negotiation of licensing deals with
All of this happened before my time. I was one in 1996. When I'm speaking of things, I'm talking 10 years old. I was like, it was like 2005, 2006. Maybe even a little later than that. I might not have been 10. I might have been 12 or something.
Scholastic having the right to approve or deny the deals. The new agreement would allow Scholastic to publish 106 new books from Parachute and would increase the royalty rate that Parachute was to be paid from Scholastic. But the new contract also contained an important provision that if any of its terms were breached, the agreement would be void and the two parties would revert back to their previous agreements. With the Goosebumps TV series entering its second season, over 40 Goosebumps licensing deals had been secured, and the franchise was hitting a new peak. But by 1997, the empire would begin to falter as internal and external pressures threatened to tear it apart. In February of 1997, Scholastic announced to investors that sales of Goosebumps books were unexpectedly declining, which would result in the company's stock values dropping. The drop in sales was attributed to older Goosebumps books not selling as well as they had in the past. With over 180 million Goosebumps books in print, it appeared that the book series had finally reached the ceiling of its success. The news hit investors hard, with
I think that they printed too many books too fast, and like kids weren't as they don't stick to the same thing. That kids move on, they follow trends. And trends follow trends, and kids set trends that make them want to follow other trends. So like you can't stick to the same thing for too long. You have to have like a set start and a set ending, and then move on to something else. Because I remember everybody was into Goosebumps, and then everybody started getting into like Magic Treehouse and stuff. And then everybody moved on to like Harry Potter, and it's just like you're into whatever your friends are into, and it causes this like chain reaction, and it could even be caused by one or two of the kids thinking something's cool, and then some other kid sees it, thinks it's cool, and it just catches on from there. It's really how it was a lot of times.
Scholastic stock dropping 41%. The company's stockholders subsequently filed a lawsuit against Scholastic, charging that it knew about Goosebumps' declining sales months earlier but had deliberately concealed the information. While book sales had dipped, the Goosebumps franchise remained strong overall in 1997, as a Disney World theme park attraction opened and the TV series was moved to Saturday mornings, becoming a top-rated show on the Fox Kids block. But by mid-1997, relations between Scholastic and Parachute had completely soured. The two entities reportedly came to a stalemate over licensing deals, with 16 different deals falling through because of their internal disagreements. In summer of 1997, Scholastic accused Parachute of using unapproved forms to make licensing deals. Scholastic saw this as a violation of their contract, which they said gave them the right to void the current contract and revert back to previous terms. This would mean that Parachute's higher royalty rate, which was negotiated in the newest contract, was also void, with Scholastic halting its royalty payments to Parachute. In response, Parachute Press filed a lawsuit against Scholastic, charging that Scholastic had breached their contract and owed them $36 million in royalties. Scholastic countersued, alleging that Parachute had breached the contract first by hiring ghostwriters to write the Goosebumps books. According to the contract made between Scholastic and Parachute, Stein was to be the sole writer.
It's like straight up two kids fighting each other and neither one of them's right.
Of the original
How
Goosebumps
ironic.
books, though the agreement did permit him to use ghostwriters for books in the spin-off series. According to Scholastic, R.L. Stein did write the first 16 books himself. However, starting with book number 17, Why I'm Afraid of Bees, Scholastic claimed that Parachute began hiring ghostwriters, who would be given a 10-page outline from Stein and turn it into a full manuscript of around 120 pages. These ghostwriters allegedly made a majority of the creative decisions, while Stein would review the manuscripts and make minimal revisions before publication. Scholastic claims that Stein was working
You know, honestly, if it works, it works. And they got mad about it.
more as an editor rather than a writer, thus breaking the terms of their contract. Scholastic even claimed that the declining sales of the Goosebumps books were a direct result of Stein employing ghostwriters, as they
Most likely. It probably was.
were not able to adequately recreate
Because, like, yeah, that's obviously a decline in the quality and the ideas. Because the original ones, they were iconic. What is this? What are these even? What are those?
Stein's unique voice. R.L. Stein was releasing 24 books per year, and while some questioned how this was possible, he had always publicly denied using ghostwriters, joking to the press in 1993 that
Well, I mean, how hard can it be to actually write kids' books once they're popular? The hard part is getting them popular.
he's much too greedy to hire assistants. But over the course of the lawsuit, Parachute did admit to hiring writer's assistants for Stein, starting with book 17 in the Goosebumps series, in order to meet deadlines and allow Stein more time to make promotional appearances. But Parachute said that the contributions from these assistants were minimal, and that Stein was still making a majority of creative decisions, including coming up with book titles, plots, and characters. Parachute claimed that Stein still had full creative control and was not breaching his contract by using assistants, which they said was common industry practice.
So it was taking him approximately like 2 weeks to write a book, right? He's writing 24 books a year. So that'd be two books a month that he'd be writing. That'd be one book every 2 weeks. That's crazy. And they're like not really all that small of books.
With Goosebumps in legal limbo, and both sides retaining some ownership of the brand, it was unknown how things would continue. In October of 1997, Scholastic went ahead and published the latest Goosebumps book, a spin-off entitled Goosebumps Triple Header. The book would include 3 original short stories, being presented by a triple-headed monster named Lefty, Righty, and Slim. Shortly thereafter, Parachute filed another lawsuit against Scholastic in federal court, claiming that the publisher had breached their 1996 agreement and was engaging in copyright infringement with its release of the triple header book. Despite these lawsuits, the two parties were still under contract for dozens of new Goosebumps books. In late 1997, Scholastic stated that it would continue to publish the Goosebumps series as planned, and Parachute agreed to deliver new manuscripts for publication until the courts made their decision. Other spin-off projects remained in development, including a Goosebumps feature film produced by Tim Burton. At the time,
That would have been amazing. They should have done that. That would have made so much money.
Jane Stein was quoted as saying, "It is quite unpleasant, but we still work with them every day." The two companies were still benefiting heavily from the Goosebumps franchise, and both had a vested interest in keeping the ball rolling. A brand new series entitled Goosebumps Series 2000 was launched in January of 1998, with one new book being published each month. While sales had dipped from its peak, the books were still selling well, with the new series.
I remember those. I remember that my childhood best friend was getting the ones that said Series 2000, or at least had the one with the Wolfman on it.
Is quickly becoming one of the best-selling book series in children's literature. The
Or was it a
Goosebumps
cat?
TV series
It was a
also
cat.
continued to do well, with the show expanding to air 6 days a week on the Fox Kids block. But by 1998, the block overall was succumbing to increased competition, with its viewership decreasing by 30%. The Goosebumps series was renewed for an abbreviated 4th season of just 8 episodes, which aired in fall of 1998. After quietly wrapping up its run on Saturday mornings, Fox began airing reruns on its new cable network Fox Family in the fall of 1999. But Scholastic was not happy with this move, which they said violated their contract. Scholastic claimed that it was entitled to the profit.
Dude, I have so much nostalgia for like 1999 cable TV. So it's so good looking back. The commercials were even good. I'll even like watch compilations of commercials that used to come on, especially the ones that would come on these family channels and these kids channels. They had some really crazy, interesting commercials going on back then.
Fox made from distributing this series to other TV outlets, while Fox maintained that Fox Family was a part of their network, thus not subject to any further fees. So yet another lawsuit was initiated, with Scholastic suing Fox for copyright infringement and seeking $2.7 million in damages. The TV series continued to air in reruns on Fox Family until 2001, and reportedly sold very well on home video. It's unknown if the producers of the series had any plans to continue.
I really want to go back to the 90s. I want to be like my age right now in the 90s. I just want to go back there and just experience what people my age experienced in the 90s.
With a 5th season. But with such a high-profile lawsuit between its owners, new episodes of the series were out of the question, and the show was effectively canceled. Meanwhile, back in the publishing world, R.L. Stine continued to work on the Goosebumps books, wrapping up his contract with Scholastic as a new young adult series was taking the nation by storm. In 1997, Scholastic spent $100,000 to purchase the U.S. rights to a young adult novel entitled Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Thanks to positive word of mouth, the fantasy novel became a huge hit in England, and the following year, Scholastic released J.K. Rowling's debut novel in America under the title Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Matching its overseas success, the book became a bestseller in the U.S., topping the New York Times.
So, we had the trends that happened everywhere else in my town, but like 5 years later. I guess it got to us late because we were poor and we didn't have internet or connections, and my town is like in the middle of nowhere.
Times bestseller list in 1999.
Like the school was poor.
Harry Potter sequels were published by Scholastic that same year, and though the Goosebumps franchise was still tied up in court, the publisher had found a new cash cow to milk. R.L. Stine and Parachute Press continued delivering Goosebumps 2000 and Give Yourself Goosebumps books, but the writing was on the wall for the series. Sales had declined to just 200,000 copies per month, as the series had been overshadowed heavily by Harry Potter along with another Scholastic young adult series.
Animorphs was a lot. Animorphs was kind of... I don't think teachers knew what Animorphs was. Because when you go home and look up Animorphs after seeing what Animorphs was about and this, like, it's kind of brutal. It's kind of a brutal thing for kids to be engaging in and be into in book form.
Animorphs. To put it simply, in the ever-evolving world of children's entertainment, Goosebumps was old news. Moving on from Scholastic, R.L. Stine and Parachute signed a new deal with HarperCollins, which would release Stine's new young adult horror series, The Nightmare Room, along with a brand new 12-book Goosebumps series entitled Goosebumps Gold. HarperCollins initially planned to release both series in the year 2000, with the first Nightmare Room installment being released in August. But in late 2000, the release of Goosebumps Gold was postponed without explanation. Artist Tim Jacobus, who had created the cover art for most of the Goosebumps books, posted a page on his website promoting the Goosebumps Gold series for release in 2001. The website even gave a preview of the first 2 installments, but the series was canceled before its release, likely due to the ongoing
I
litigation
remember The Haunted Mask Lives.
between Scholastic and Parachute about the rights to the series. After the final Goosebumps books were published in the year 2000, the series would lay dormant for several years. Scholastic's revenue continued to grow significantly with the Harry Potter series, now a global phenomena that had far surpassed Goosebumps' success. It wasn't until 2003 that the complex web of lawsuits plaguing the Goosebumps franchise finally came to a conclusion. First, in January of 2003, Parachute Press and Scholastic came to a settlement, with Scholastic agreeing to pay Parachute $9.65 million for the rights to Goosebumps and its trademark.
If this gives you any time frame of like what it was like, I was in 5th grade when Twilight got super popular. And that was, I think, the first time that something was trendy that my town actually had grasp of. When Twilight was popular everywhere, it was popular in my town too. That was the first time. And from then on out, I think all the trends followed the same.
And in June of that year, Scholastic lost its case against Fox regarding the airing of Goosebumps on the Fox Family Channel. The irony is that by the time these lawsuits were settled, much of the public interest in the Goosebumps franchise had died out. As the book series ended in the year 2000 and the TV series stopped airing in 2001, Goosebumps had lost much of the potency that had made it so popular back in the 1990s. However, copies of Goosebumps books still existed in schools and libraries across the world, and new
Oh yeah, they did. And that's probably how I got most of my accelerated reader points. Anybody else use that in schools? Accelerated reader, where you get the point system and you get awards at the end of the quarter, the end of the 9 weeks, or however long it was for you. It was different for some people.
generations of young readers would continue to discover the series for the first time. In November of 2003, Scholastic began re-releasing books from the original series with slightly modified covers. Goosebumps continued to sell around 2 million copies per year, and the franchise overall received a boost when reruns of the TV series began airing on Cartoon Network in 2007. In 2008, Goosebumps was resurrected as Goosebumps Horrorland, a new book series with R.L. Stine at the helm. The series ran until 2012 and was followed by 3 more series, including Goosebumps House of Shivers, which is
I remember Slappy World. I don't know House of Shivers and Most Wanted, but I do know Slappy World.
still being published today. And the long-awaited feature film adaptation of Goosebumps finally came to fruition in 2015, with Jack Black portraying a fictionalized version of Stine.
I didn't watch it. Was it any good? I doubt it. But you know, the original show wasn't good, and I fucking love that show.
To this day, R.L. Stine maintains that he wrote all of the Goosebumps books himself, saying that he only used outside writers to help with the outlines. And while we may never know the extent to which ghostwriters were employed, it's clear that Stine was always the driving force behind the franchise, creating an iconic world that continues to captivate readers to this day. Over 30 years after its initial inception, Goosebumps is still going strong, pumping out books, films, and TV series. But there's no doubt that Goosebumps' peak as a cultural phenomena was in the 1990s. Before all the hype that transformed the series into a global franchise, Goosebumps was simply a book on the shelf, able to enthrall young readers through catchy titles, imaginative cover art, and engaging plots. While Goosebumps was never high-level literature, it got kids reading, creating a new generation of book lovers and leaving a
And there was just a vibe of that kind of stuff going on around then too, man. That was like, kids were into Destroy All Humans, and they were reading Goosebumps and like listening to Linkin Park.
lasting impression on its audience. While the lawsuits certainly slowed the franchise down, Goosebumps has embedded itself into the fabric of American culture and will not soon be forgotten. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you'd like to support me
I
on
am gonna hit that
Patreon,
like
you can
and
find
subscribe.
the link in the description.
That was a good video. That I felt things. I felt childhood in this video. I'm probably gonna watch more videos like this of stuff that I used to like. Especially I want to get into Power Rangers and stuff, because Power Rangers, for anybody that's older than me, Power Rangers was my Transformers. I watched every Power Rangers series. I watched every episode. I watched it every morning before I went to school for a while. Years. I thought I was a Power Ranger. And I really, really, really liked the Titanium Ranger. And Goosebumps, I loved Goosebumps too, man. I treated it the same. It just didn't last as long. And I was a little bit older. But I read all the books that I came across. And I had a bunch of them. I still have a few. I need to get more of them. That's where I'm gonna end today's stream. Oh man, I felt sorts of ways. I loved it. I have Spread Shop in the description. That's where you can buy some merch. I got mugs, hats, t-shirts, other stuff, stickers. Got stickers. The mug's cool, man. I really like the way the mug turned out. I like the design. I'm going to be adding more designs into my Spread Shop. So y'all, I'll be back tonight playing some game. I don't know what game yet. If you'd like to see that, you can go ahead and join me there. 10 p.m. Central Time.